So a lot of us use olive oil to cook. It's great for cooking, right? But there's a much sweeter way to use it that you might not have thought of just yet. But we have Jennifer Thornton here from Buttercream and Olive, and she is going to expose this. Hi.
Hi.
I love having you here.
I love being here
so
with you.
We're using olive oil to make a sundae.
It sounds crazy, I know. Usually we're on here doing much more traditional French pastries. But this is really kind of how things started back in the day. So when I lived in France for 5 years, it's a little soupy here, but that's okay.
That means I can eat it better.
Right.
The spoon will go right through it.
So I ran an olive oil shop in Paris. That was actually after I had worked in the French olive oil mills for about 3 years. And I introduced this sundae to Paris. So you have to start with a really good vanilla bean ice cream, which we have here.
You introduced the sundae to Paris? This is exciting.
Right.
And now you're introducing it to Northeast Ohio.
To Cleveland. There we go. So we have a really good vanilla bean ice cream. I like to just kind of take a little something just to make a little bit of holes in here so that olive oil can really get all the way through and give some nice flavor there. So what we're talking about today, not just olive oil, but the French olive oils, which are so special for a couple reasons. Obviously, the olive varieties are going to be different than you would find anywhere else in the world. You know, every country has their own olive varieties. So these varieties are very specific to France. It's very hard to find French olive oil here because the cost of production to make it's about 3 times compared to like Spain and Italy, places like that. So it's a much more costly oil. So you don't typically find it here. But what I do is bring in the oils from the mills where I used to work in France to do, we do an olive oil discovery class where you can come and taste these different oils. We do 5 different recipes. We do 3 savory Mediterranean recipes, and then we also do 2 olive oil desserts. Our salted chocolate olive oil cake, and we serve that with an olive oil.
Salted chocolate?
It is, and we serve it with an olive oil marshmallow cream. So I just top that with, this is the first mill I ever worked at Chateau Viront. It's a nice, robust olive oil.
I love how she says it, too. So are you saying you made that sundae healthier now? Because olive oil is healthy for you. So I feel like, well,
absolutely.
Now I can eat the ice cream.
What really stands out between olive oil and all the other oils, so in the mill when we're doing this, from olive to olive oil takes about an hour and a half, and it's a purely mechanical process. So when it's done, we're there with our spoons or tasting cups and we're trying it.
Well, and when you tasted pure olive oil from there for the first time, is that what really just sent you over the edge and you thought,
it was
okay,
like
this
a light
is my
bulb over
now.
yeah, exactly. It was just like, wow, this is real olive oil, and started taking public buses all over Provence to go to the different mills and learn more about it. Eventually met the queen of olive oil. She took me under her wing, invited me to stay in her chateau and work in a mill for 2 weeks. I stayed for 2 years. We wrote a book together, this illustrated novel that takes you from...
So this is your book. So you worked with her on this, the queen of olive oil. What is her name?
Christine.
Christine. So you two did this together. And in the book, you also do have some recipes at the end?
We do. We have the olive oil sundae, which I just topped with a little bit of fleur de sel.
What is fleur de sel? What is that?
Fleur de sel, it's the top layer of the sea salt that's harvested by hand. This one's from Provence. It's from a region called Camargue, but it's a very light, delicate, beautiful finishing salt. So just that little bit on top makes a huge difference.
And Mama Donna, she made sure to get me a spoon, right?
She got you already. It's olive wood from France, so the spoon is even from France for you, Natalie.
What I love is I feel like you bring this upscale French just cuisine to us here, and I feel like we're able to actually do this. I mean, I feel like it just seems like something that's impossible.
Right? It's not. The biggest thing that people take away from our olive oil discovery class is that it's recipes. It's not like haute French cuisine. You know, it's refined, but at the same time, it's stuff that you're coming home from work on a Wednesday evening, you're exhausted. Really easy recipes to put together.
That is wild.
Isn't that great?
I would never, ever in a million years think to do this, and thankfully we have someone like her who can introduce us to new things. I feel like you'll take us out of our comfort zone in your classes that you have.
Absolutely.
And so, I just got a little taste of them. What is it called again?
The fleur de sel.
Oh my gosh. There is a look at some of the upcoming classes that you have. So they're all in Medina, right?
They are all in Medina. This summer we'll be there every Saturday at the Medina Farmers Market, where we do a seasonal market class. We spend an hour at the market getting our ingredients, spending time with our farmers, and then we do a 2-hour hands-on class and lunch. The menu changes every 2 weeks, so you could potentially come out and join us multiple times throughout the summer.
It is well worth it. My mind is blown by this right now. This is absolutely delicious.
delicious.
See, this is why we have her on the show, because we explore new things all the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
That's unreal. All right, still to come here on New Day.